Well, here we are in sunny Las Vegas. We got a suitcase full of money, a bag full of blow, and a loaded handgun. What should we do next? Wait, are you thinking what I'm thinking? Cirque du Soleil! Yeah, this is great. Look at him go.
Isn't this kind of sissy for Vegas?
Wait, are you thinking what I'm thinking? Celine Dion! Oh yeah, what a voice. Now this is Vegas, huh, baby?
Yeah, but something I have to tell you.
What's that, sweet cheeks?
You know, this is the best 24 hours of my life, baby.
Me too.
And I love you.
Me too.
But I'm a call girl.
Ah, thank God. I thought you were a hooker. Hello and welcome to Random Movie Time. Today's feature is the 1993 crime drama True Romance, directed by Tony Scott and written by Quentin Tarantino and starring Christian Slater, Patricia Arquette, and pretty much everyone else you've ever heard of being in a movie. So you've got Dennis Hopper, Val Kilmer, Gary Oldman, Brad Pitt, Christopher Walken, Samuel L. Jackson. It'd probably be quicker to list who wasn't in the movie. But it's written by Quentin Tarantino, so you know that there's going to be great dialogue and weird characters and lots of crazy stuff is going to happen. So this tells the story of a couple of ne'er-do-wells, a young married couple who get involved in crime, murder, drugs. They end up in Hollywood, and then things take a serious left turn from there. What did you think of this movie, Shannon?
I liked this film. I generally do like Tarantino films. I think that if you are not a fan of Quentin Tarantino's, you may not like it as much. It's not as violent as his later films, but it's still very Tarantino-esque. It comes through even in this. I think this was before he was really known. There's a lot of references to kung fu in it and kind of Elvis and rockabilly. Even though it's set in contemporary times, it's still got that kind of time capsule feel in a lot of ways. The way the shots are set up, the lighting is really nice. I mean, it's kind of, at some points it does feel like a neo-noir at some points, and the acting is wow, so well done. Patricia Arquette and Christian Slater have such chemistry. I think it works really well. In fact, the whole cast really interact well. And as Tommy said, there's pretty much everybody in this movie. It's a huge cast, and everybody has an important role to play, and they play it well. A couple of people that Tommy didn't mention that were in this movie was Bronson Pinchot, who you might remember from Perfect Strangers. He did quite a good job playing the slimeball. And as well, we have our good friend James Gandolfini, who we know from The Sopranos, who played the main character in The Sopranos, Tony Soprano. I was really impressed with him because he always seemed kind of like a one-trick pony. But in this film, he was really good. I was really impressed with that. The music was really good. The soundtrack was done by Hans Zimmer, who is quite good as well. If you are not familiar, he's done millions of soundtracks. I think he did part of the soundtrack for Miami Vice and millions of other things I can't think of right now. It starts off in Detroit, where Christian Slater gets entangled with this call girl, and through a series of mishaps, he ends up with a suitcase full of the mob's cocaine, and they don't realize it until they're on their way to California to meet up with his acting friend. And so, as you can imagine, some crazy antics ensue. There's some really good action sequences, but there's also really good interaction with the characters. There's a lot of cuteness and quirkiness about it. As I say, you can tell it's written by Quentin Tarantino. Of course, Christopher Walken, come on. Who can't love that guy? He's amazing. Yeah, so I have to say this movie was ridiculous in a good way. And I thought it was quite well written. And again, the acting was really well done, and the cinematography and the colors they used were spot on, and the music was spot on. It added a lot of color. I have very little bad to say about it, I've got to say. I was pleasantly surprised. What do you say, Tommy?
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I was really surprised I'd never seen this one before because, I'd heard about it over the years, and I sort of thought that I had seen it maybe, but I think I was getting it mixed up with Natural Born Killers or something like that. But yeah, I definitely had not seen this before, and I'm kind of kicking myself that I waited so long. It's such a good movie. I can't think of anything that Tarantino has written that I didn't like at this point. I think Tony Scott was a good choice to direct. He's also a director who has like a lot of flair and a lot of style. It was kind of over the top. Quentin Tarantino does some movies that are a bit more realistic in tone, like Jackie Brown and Reservoir Dogs, but this was one of his over-the-top ones. And
you call Jackie Brown a little less over the top.
well,
okay, yeah.
It's slightly more plausible, the whole thing of, this couple falling in love in 24 hours and, the old hooker with a heart of gold trope and all of that.
Yeah.
But really, it's an entertaining movie from start to finish, and I like the fact that it's crazy and absurd and very comic book-like in many ways. I like Christian Slater's performance. I thought he was good as this guy who was sort of fantasizing about Elvis. Now, at the start of the movie, you kind of think that's going to be his downfall. Like this guy is just too enamored with Elvis. He's not living in the real world. But it ends up that basically his fantasies about Elvis actually help him out.
Yeah. His spirit guide.
His spirit guide, yeah, is Elvis, and he tells him what to do, and it turns out to be the right call in the end. So it was pretty funny. Dennis Hopper was great as his dad. Not playing a ne'er-do-well this time, just playing sort of like a normal dad, but a dad who used to be with the cops and has, a bit of grit about him, like he's a dad who can take care of business. So I like that. And then, yeah, of course, Christopher Walken, that whole scene, just another Tarantino masterpiece.
Amazing.
So, yeah. Great movie, great visuals, great soundtrack, great acting, great actors. I really think this one is an excellent movie. So, how many suitcases full of money will you give this one?
I will give this one 4.5 suitcases of money. I think that it was extremely well done, as I say. The direction was great. The acting was amazing. The script was great. The chemistry with the characters, everything, pretty much everything was good. But for some reason, there was just something missing there for me, which is why I won't give it a 5. Because, and I can't place my finger on it, but to me, it's not quite a perfect movie, but I think it's very close. What about you, Tommy?
Yeah, exactly the same thing. 4.5 suitcases full of money out of 5. For me, the thing that was missing was it dragged a bit at the start, and you didn't really warm up to Christian Slater's character for a long time. I mean, he started out being pretty unlikable. I guess technically he's still unlikable at the end, but you grow to like him. And his dialogue with, about martial arts movies and things like that, trying to pick up women. At first he just seems like such a nerd. He's just so hopeless. So it does take a while to warm up to both of the characters, actually. But once you do, the movie really goes into fifth gear, and it ended up being really excellent.
Yeah, I think for the most part, despite its ridiculous storyline, I think it seemed quite believable. I mean, if you were in that sort of situation, which I don't think most of us will ever be, but it did seem very, very believable. Yeah, I agree with you about took a while to warm up to the characters, but maybe that's what it was. But yeah, I recommend this movie for sure. If you're not a Quentin Tarantino fan, and if you take issue with some of his crazy ideas and his violent ways, then you may not like it. Just a fair warning. However, as I say, it's a lot tamer than his later work, and I still think it's a really good movie.
All right, and with that, I guess we'll go start up the old purple Cadillac and get out of here.
Yeah.
Until next time, we'll see you on
Random Movie Time.